Shaedon Sharpe was the biggest mystery of the 2022 NBA draft. He was highly ranked in high school after a breakout junior season and great performances on the EYBL circuit, which is one of the best AAU circuits in the country. He gained a lot of attention due to his scoring potential and out-of-this-world vertical athleticism, and the plan was to enroll at Kentucky early, redshirt, have a big season, and be one of the top picks in the 2023 NBA draft. However, things changed, and despite claims by Coach Calipari that Sharpe was going to play for the Wildcats in 2023, Sharpe ended up declaring for the 2022 NBA draft despite not playing a single game in college due to the fact that he met the requirements to be eligible for the 2022 draft. His stock was generally in the lottery range, around the top 5 area to as low as the late lottery, and the question became, how much of his high school stock could you value compared to the stock of other top prospects who had played in college or played in pro settings overseas or in the G League? It goes without saying that investing valuable draft assets on a player whose stock was entirely based around a breakout junior season and EYBL tape, who also hadn't played a competitive basketball game in over a year, would be risky. So when the Portland Trail Blazers used that 7th overall pick to draft Shaedon Sharpe, they made one of the most important picks when it comes to the future of basketball, and going in the top 10 made Shaedon Sharpe one of the most important rookies in basketball history. I want to start by giving you my thoughts on Shaedon Sharpe as a prospect. I thought Sharpe was a lottery talent in the class, but it was closer to the back end than the front end. In fact, 7 was probably the highest I felt comfortable taking him. I think his baseline skill set is enough to justify using a lottery pick on him. He's a good shooter that has legit scoring potential, is a good athlete, and has the ideal frame for a guard wing scorer in modern basketball at 6'6", 200 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. However, I did have my concerns with Sharpe as a prospect as well. His handle was loose when attempting to clear off the dribble, and he doesn't have a generational first step and quickness that someone like Jalen Green has to make up for the fact that the handle isn't good. He's a good vertical athlete, actually a great vertical athlete, borderline generational when it comes to pure ability to jump, but his quickness and lateral movement aren't quite what you'd expect from somebody that can jump as high as he can. These are things that made me hesitant to put him in the top 5 or 6. Now, I will say that it's possible that he's improved in these areas, and it's possible that he shows that in his rookie season, but we don't have any real film to prove that he has improved in these areas, which is why he was such a mystery entering the draft. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Portland taking Sharpe at 7th overall. It's not that I don't think Sharpe wasn't worthy of going that high, but Portland is a team trying to build around Damian Lillard, and taking a player who hasn't played high-level organized basketball in over a year didn't make sense to me, especially when guys like Dyson Daniels and Johnny Davis were on the board, who were also lottery talent guards, who had less mystery about them, specifically with Dyson Daniels, who played pretty well against pro competition. However, Portland taking Sharpe at 7th overall doesn't shock me either. This is the same team that took Anthony Simons in the first round, despite the fact that Simons never played in college. And while it took a few seasons, I think it has paid off for them that they made that pick. So it's clear that they are willing to take a risk on someone who doesn't have any college tape or experience. Also, this could be a great mentorship experience for Sharpe. From all accounts, Damian Lillard is an incredible leader and mentor for young players, and Sharpe could definitely benefit from that. I don't know if Sharpe will produce early on. It wouldn't shock me if he didn't. It took Simons a few years, and it also took CJ McCollum a few years as well. Not a one-to-one comparison, but it may take time, which may not be ideal for the timeline with Damian Lillard. But regardless of that, Sharpe's progression as a basketball player and development will be very important for the future of the NBA draft and basketball in general. If Shaedon Sharpe flames out of the league, isn't a second contract player, then the risk won't pay off, and teams will likely avoid investing valuable draft assets and prospects who are in situations like Sharpe was. If Sharpe ends up becoming good, however, good enough to justify him going 7th overall, it will have a massive impact on basketball. Whether it's right at the gate, which would be massive, or it takes a year or two, which is much more likely, and I'm not even saying that he has to be a superstar, or even a star player. If Shaedon Sharpe becomes a Norman Powell level player, which is not an insult, Norman Powell's very good, who's a player that's averaged 18 points per game on 48, 41, 84 splits, while being one of the better shooters in basketball over the past 3 seasons, and that would be a successful outcome for Shaedon Sharpe, something worth investing a 7th overall pick in. It will be a success for both Shaedon Sharpe and the Portland Trail Blazers. The risk will pay off, and that would be important. The potential success of Shaedon Sharpe could make teams be more open to and more willing to invest valuable draft assets in players with similar situations. It could also encourage prospects that are in similar situations to take the route that Shaedon has. I may be skeptical of the pick of Shaedon Sharpe at 7th overall to Portland. I may have taken someone else in that spot. But I can't deny how important Sharpe's development in the league is, not only for his own future, but the future of the NBA draft as well. I'm interested to see how Sharpe develops in Portland, how he's used as a rookie, and where he progresses to as a player over the next few years. I'm hoping for the best for him in his career. I want to see him succeed. But at the end of the day, it was a risk to take him that high, given the direction Portland is trying to head into, with the timeline that they currently have with Damian Lillard. And it's also a risk that could change basketball forever. But that's the end of this video for me to this point. Thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things, be a big help to me. Subscribing and liking the video, if you haven't already, are the best way to help me and support the channel and support the future growth of the channel is a better way to put it. If you want to check out other content that I've made, you can click the icon in the middle. I have 2 videos popping up on the side here. Those 2 videos are not related to basketball. Those are related to my video essay channel that I think is worth checking out. Link to that channel in the description below and the pinned comment. Also, a video that YouTube will recommend will popping up on the other side. That video will be from this channel. And again, click the icon to subscribe if you haven't already. And check out other videos if you don't like the video that YouTube is recommending here. That being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.